We all long for Eden and are constantly glimpsing it. Our whole nature is soaked with a sense of exile. J.R.R. Tolkien. The garden. The garden is pristine, untainted beginning for humanity. Life is abundant, full of beauty, and all needs are seamlessly met. There's some thought that we hadn't even the need for relieving ourselves. Hunger wasn't a condition, and food was consumed purely for pleasure. Now, let's compare that with the womb, which is a sacred space where the divine meets physical form and new life begins. Where nourishment and protection aren't concepts, but a reality so consuming that the baby is unaware of its separateness from the source or its mother. Something that actually extends beyond birth for some months thereafter. Now, both the garden and the womb are realms of innocence, where the beginnings of these beings are so pure, so protected, concepts of the opposite can't even be imagined until that gate is open and we're thrown out into an environment that is a whole lot less inviting, to say the least. So what are we thrust into? Well, we're thrust into the world, which is life as we know it, full of trials and triumphs, of attempts to comprehend the nature of what is good and what is evil, and that of the great whys. Why do we exist? Why do bad things happen? Why do good things happen? Why must a pink flamingo stand on one foot while pondering the fish and whether or not he told his school he loved them lately? Now, all of this leaves in us the search, or lack thereof, a ceaseless longing, like a dull ache that remains perpetually present under all the noise that we consume with a fervor to placate this missing piece of the puzzle that is us. When we're not busy with what Freud called the normal miseries of life, we fill ourselves with news feeds or social feeds under the mistaken belief that we are resting or just taking a break. We convince ourselves we're learning something or studying, albeit passively, and with thoughts often forgotten soon after the next swipe. Thus, sinking into slothful indulgence to escape the silence that, if permitted, reminds us of what is widely considered unattainable solace. So what is actually happening? If we look back to Genesis, the first words God spoke after the fall were, "Where are you?" Conveying not only that he seeks out the lost sinner, but also that he welcomes your confession, desires for the order to be restored, and patiently awaits your redemption. To relate this to birth, we only need to look at how the majority of babies are born into this world crying, which would lead one to assume a desire to return to the comforts of existing in the before world. This desire for peace or rest stems from an unconscious and deep-seated memory of Eden, before the fall, or of the unconditional love and support of the womb before our entrance into the world. However, we tend to lose ourselves in stagnation, instead of genuine, quiet rest to avoid the pressing question: how do I get back?